Across the endless savanna, where every creature lives by instinct and dies by a single mistake, a fiery showdown is about to erupt. Africa's most fearsome predator, the lion, seems to have victory firmly within its grasp. But in a moment of overconfidence, the king of the wild finds himself facing the wrath of the very prey he once underestimated, the buffalo. Join us in today's video, as the prey rises up and the hunter becomes the hunted in nature's brutal game of survival. In stark contrast to the gentle image of domestic cattle, the African buffalo stands as a symbol of raw fury on the savanna. With a massive body weighing up to 900 kilograms, a shoulder height of about 1.3 to 1.6 meters, and a pair of signature crescent-shaped horns like deadly scythes, it's one of the most formidable creatures in all of Africa. Fierce, unpredictable, and fiercely loyal to its herd, even full-grown male lions think twice before taking one on. Because out here, a single mistake can turn the hunter into the hunted. 1. Remember, buffaloes are never alone. They move in massive herds, sometimes hundreds or even thousands strong, sweeping across the savanna like a black flood. When one member is threatened, the entire herd strikes back fiercely and unstoppable. They quickly surround their enemy, overwhelming it with sheer numbers, their rage crashing down again and again with no mercy for the predator. No mercy for the predator. That's why few hunters ever dare to provoke them. Only the boldest or the most reckless would risk their life challenging a herd of raging buffalo. And the only creatures bold enough to challenge a herd of raging buffalo are the lions, the true kings of the savanna. Fueled by sheer daring and a relentless thirst for the hunt, they're willing to stake their very lives in the most brutal battles nature has to offer. But this time, the hunter becomes the hunted. A mighty pride of lions now faces an enormous, furious herd of buffalo. The herd charges with unstoppable force, closing in and completely overpowering them, forcing the lions to retreat step by step amid the raging fury of the plains. Realizing the fight will bring nothing but pain and defeat, the lions are left with no choice but to withdraw in bitter surrender, leaving behind both their prey and their pride. The fierce moment begins. As a massive herd of buffalo migrates across the savanna, a few lionesses, the most skilled hunters, silently stalk from within the tall grass. Working together in perfect coordination, the lions tighten their grip, surrounding the buffalo, victory seeming just within reach. But only seconds later, the real nightmare begins. The adult bulls charge in like living tanks, heads low, horns forward, eyes burning with fury, thundering across the savanna with a roar that shakes the ground. Perhaps this is the most humiliating moment of the king of the jungle. Facing an entire herd of massive buffalo alone, the solitary lion quickly realizes the brutal gap in power. Cornered with no way out, it's forced to climb up a tree, seeking a fragile sliver of safety amid the enemy's raging fury. Even with its fearless spirit, the lion's strength is no match for the relentless power of the herd, and it's left to swallow a bitter defeat. In the end, the mighty ruler of the savanna can only accept his loss, silently gazing down at the very creatures he once considered mere prey. What about what comes to mind when you think of lions? Lions usually hunt in prides, with the lionesses being the true hunters. While the males step in only to face massive prey or defend their territory from intruders. In that world, every role carries life or death importance, and true strength lies not in power alone, but in teamwork and the instinct to protect. To be fair, even in the scorching heat of the savannah, during the most intense hunts, the lion remains Africa's most formidable predator. At this very moment, you're about to witness two forces collide. On one side, the unbreakable unity of a buffalo herd; on the other, the reckless instinct of a full-grown male lion, driven to the edge by hunger. Will he bow before the massive herd or turn the tide with a single, deadly strike? Stay tuned for this heart-stopping showdown. This time, the entire pride of lionesses employed a stealth hunting strategy, slowly closing in on a full-grown buffalo.
Then its own kind rise, not to follow.
Then, with an earth-shaking roar, they charged forward like a storm leaping onto their target to pin it down. What follows is a breathtaking clash of fangs locked against fury, and the tide begins to turn as the buffalo fights back with unexpected strength and determination. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Surrounded by a pack of starving lions, the massive buffalo has nowhere left to run. Its desperate struggle only fuels the bloodthirsty instincts of the hunters, wearing it down bit by bit, exactly what the lionesses are built to do. When hunger reaches its limit, mercy no longer exists. The lone buffalo finally collapses, becoming a feast of survival for the stronger. Such is the unforgiving cycle of nature, where life belongs only to those who are faster, stronger, and bold enough to risk it all. Every act of recklessness comes with a price: life itself. There's no room for arrogance. The battle between lions and buffalo isn't just a clash of strength, it's a lesson about the limits of power and the value of unity. In the next video, get ready to witness the moment when the prey strikes back and the hunter falls victim to its own primal instincts.
Just like humans, some animals in the wild often live in a large or small family. Living in groups with such a large number of members brings much more benefits than living alone in the face of changes in the surrounding environment. However, there is not always solidarity and love in the herd, so many animals are accidentally or intentionally abandoned by the herd. So what will happen when they live alone, and what will be the fate of an abandoned individual? Let's find out with us today. Fate of the animals when abandoned by the herd. In the natural world, animals tend to choose two main types of living forms: living alone and living in groups. It is obvious that living in groups will bring many more benefits than living alone. For example, individuals in the herd help each other find food, shelter, and also resist predators and the environment that they live around. Wildebeest are a prime example of this herd lifestyle. They live in larger groups to support each other in feeding and defending. Classic migration of this animal, they often move in herds with very large numbers, possibly up to thousands of animals. Not all the wildebeest are healthy enough to be able to overcome all of the challenges in this migration. There are individuals who have been injured due to crocodile attacks while wading, or the young are exhausted and cannot keep up with the herd. And once abandoned by the herd, these wildebeest will have to fend off all attacks by predators on their own. This wildebeest was badly injured and in pain, and and the sadness evident on his face. Perhaps its whole herd was living and feeding in another fertile land, leaving it alone with a leg that could not even move. And unable to find food on their own, and unable to call for support from the herd, the wildebeest can only lie still and accept its fate. Because it could not move to get food, and its wounds were too large, this wildebeest died gradually. The carnivores came and ate it. And with a keen sense of smell, the hyena sniffed and rushed to enjoy the delicious meal. Hyenas are also highly social animals. The female hyenas often fight with each other for the top spot. Strict division roles in their social organization. Lower-ranking hyenas will be bullied by the higher-ups without being able to resist, as the continuous attacks of the leader hyena cause the opponent to be seriously injured, as this hyena must accept the weaker physical and positional of this attack. It was left by the herd with a body covered in wounds. But with its intense vitality, the hyena still tried to stay alive. And unable to hunt on its own, it searches for carrion or rotting food left behind by other animals. However, as food became increasingly scarce and its wounds became more severe, the hyena faced a traumatic end, as it died a painful death. It can be seen that when abandoned by the herd, the animals face many dangers, and from not being able to find any food, to not being able to hunt on their own, and even being targeted by other predators. This baby elephant was targeted by a pack of lions. Normally, elephants often live in herds, and the mother elephants always follow and protect their babies from danger from the outside environment. But perhaps this time, because the baby elephant was busy playing, it got lost in the herd. And in a faraway land, the call for help now no longer works, as the lion rushed to attack the baby elephant, and this is the end for this playfulness. It was defeated by the lion, and it could no longer continue its journey to find its mother again. It can be seen that lions are very hard, as they support and help each other to defeat their prey easily. However, contradictions still arise when the male lions want to take over the dominant position of the herd. The male lions that are no longer as sly and aggressive as before will be attacked by other adult males and chased away by the herd. Once the majestic king of the jungle is his domain, now this lion is no longer protected and receive the same amount of food as before. It was forced to gradually get used to being alone, independent, and had to hunt by itself until it was exhausted. Perhaps the old age had caused him to face a pitiful end. Although it is still a live carnivore, when unable to hunt on its own, lions are forced to come to eat corpses to fight through the day. When the lion is no longer the king of the jungle, the lion will face many dangers, especially the attack of herd predators like hyenas. The end of this lion is like every other animal when it is abandoned by the herd. When they do not have the help and the care of their comrades, will slowly die in the form of emaciated bones and hunger. That is to see that living alone is never easy in the wild, and unable to feed on their own, and unable to fight on their own, and unable to withstand all the harshness of the environment on their own. Animals that are abandoned by the herd often do not have a good ending. these are also the laws that always exist and force the animals to accept that harshness. Thank you all so much for watching all of our videos, and if you love to explore the animal world, then don't forget to press the button to subscribe to the channel, like this video and share it. Bye, and see you in the next video.